must like the dry hot water, I don't know.
Rattlesnakes, water dryer.
Yeah, we got no rattlesnakes.
No.
Bears are good.
We're good to go, guys. Sorry about that.
Okay, so we're ready to start?
Yep.
Okay, this is a salary board commission meeting, and we'll go around the room and introduce ourselves. I'm Joe Delwell, County Commissioner, and let's go this way.
Don Becker, Fairfield.
Paula Giaconetti, Clerk and Recorder.
Sam Carlson, Commissioner.
Bill Coble, County Attorney.
Brian Medord, County Commissioner.
Pete Rasmussen, Justice of the Peace.
Snodgrass, I'm on the budget.
Where you from?
John Brickmeyer, Power.
Melody Martinson from Shoto Acantha, and this is our intern, Abby Christensen.
Okay, thanks everybody for coming. So we have minutes from the last meeting.
Yep, and I'll read them if that's all right,
That'd
sir.
be great.
That was June 19th, 2020. Oh, I forgot to put 4. Missed one. Present Commissioners Joe Delville, Richard Spellman, Sam Carlson by phone, Bob Snodgrass, Nancy Morrow, Don Becker, John Bergmeyer, County Attorney.
No, I was absent.
You were absent? I wonder if I grabbed the wrong ones.
I was in Indianapolis.
I just grabbed, but I got the right ones, I just didn't do it. Thank you, we'll cross you off.
Crossed me off.
Okay, got it. Sheriff Keith Van Setten, Justice of the Peace Pete Rasmussen, Melody Martin, Cheryl County. Again, the minutes. Nancy moved to approve the minutes. Joe, from June 7th, Joe Dell seconded, motion carried. Discussion was held on the increase for the elected officials. And Joe Dell will explain the budget position and suggested $1 hour plus the increase to health insurance premium would add 60 cents an hour. Joe Coble said it was a nice raise last year and the 1 hour and health insurance increase sounds good. Bob stated everything is going up. Joe Coble moved to present the Board of Commissioners with the $1 an hour raise plus insurance increase. Bob Snodgrass seconded. Motion carried unanimously. The meeting was adjourned at 1:15.
So just the one correction.
Yeah, I gotta change the date and then,
In my absence.
and put out.
I'll move to approve with corrections.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Which brings us to the reason we're here. So it's the same deal as in the past, but this is just for the elected official salaries, nothing more, nothing less. I have been working with Paula, and I think normally we don't know where our budget is this time of year. This year it's even worse because we haven't exactly figured out what the legislature did to our taxes. Brian and I are gonna go to Conrad tomorrow for a meeting with Mako, and hopefully they'll give us some clarity on that. But we never have clarity on it by the time we have this meeting, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I believe personally, as a commissioner, we need to give our employees $1 an hour raise, because just like you just said, while we're visiting, everything's going up. So I think that's what our intention is to do with our regular employees, which doesn't matter for this board. It just, that's what we're gonna try to do, is $1 an hour raise for our regular employees.
You know what?
$1 an hour raise.
Which that's about 3%, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't like to go with percentages because then the higher paid employees benefit the most. And if you do it $1 by the hour,
Yeah.
then everybody,
I mean, some numbers I crunch, that's about 3%.
it's close.
And cost of living's about 2.5%.
They never seem to get the lower paid employees a bigger increase.
Well, Bob, it would be hard to do that because if you take the people that just started to raise them up, some of our employees have worked here for 15 and 16 years, and if you raise them up, then it's gonna have to be, then everybody should be raised, because then it's somebody that's worked here for 25 years, then is $1 an hour separation for somebody that's only worked here 1 year? That makes it tough, but it makes it tough. That is huge. We have people that are working, for well, we start at, is it 1350 or 1450? So we start at that. But I've got, so if we started it at 1450, I've got 2 employees. One has worked 5 years, one has worked 2 years, and one makes $17, and the one that's worked here for 2 years makes $16. So, because they've got their $1 an hour raise for the last 2 years. But I know that Pete's got one that's works, she's in the same boat. She
Yeah,
started.
My
'cause
afternoon girl's worked here, she's been here 4.5 years and she's at 16.
Because she started when we had the minimum wage start, or our minimum start at $12.50. So, yes, we recognize that, we totally recognize it, but how do you fix it?
Well, when we looked at a pay matrix and it just got, the longer we looked at it, the less sense it made. I mean, it's really hard to make things fair. But at least if we go by an hourly rate increase, that does make it more fair than a percentage.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always say every year about the hourly employees, I mean, they're $16 an hour, they can go to Target for $20 an hour and go home at night and don't have to worry about saying something they weren't supposed to because of the confidentiality and do whatever they want, and then nobody cares, but there's quite a bit of responsibility in a lot of the jobs here, most of them. Lucky for the insurance, that's a bonus though too.
Right.
That's just for the worker though, that doesn't
Yep.
cover the whole family, but
Don't we pay the employee?
Just the employee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
They have the option of going with NACO for their family too, but then it's out of pocket.
And for those watching, our health insurance went up this year, and it increased $113 a month, and the county will pay 100%, which is $879, and an increase is approximately 68 cents an hour, too.
And it went up that much last year too.
Yes,
What is the deductible for the employee?
$2,000, $4,000 out of pocket. So once they hit 4,000, then it's 100%.
Is there any retirement program through MACO or anything?
Yes, we have Montana Employment,
Montana Employment?
yeah, PRS.
And how much does Teton County pay into that percentage of it?
It's 8.9% or 9.1, I can't remember, John.
Close enough, don't
Yeah.
call it 9%.
And
yeah.
then, so the county contributes that much, and then the employee, I think it's 8.2% puts in.
Okay, okay.
So they get about 16.5%, almost 17%.
Okay.
And then, vision and dental is offered, but they pay that themselves.
They do,
Mhm.
okay. So it's really a bare bones health insurance program, really.
It's, yeah.
I mean, not
It's pretty,
major medical and, yeah.
it's
just-
pretty,
yeah.
it's pretty good though when you figure out,
It has been good insurance, so.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because it's a trust, so it's all through the counties of
Okay.
Montana.
Okay. This is just kind of a guess what you're thinking the budget will make though, right?
We've worked at it, and
Educated guess.
we just, well, in working with government, we do, and with the new, what is it, Senate Bill 540 and House, so, there's
They're
two.
gonna talk about too.
We have, literally, it sounds like Greek, because they can't tell us what it's gonna happen, they can't tell us, we don't even have formulas yet. And we won't know until that first Monday in August what our taxable values are and what our mill's gonna be worth. So we just kinda go by
There's no
what,
estimate on what they're gonna do based on the legislative people or?
not that I've heard, and make, but they're going to
We'll ask that
tomorrow,
question
hopefully.
tomorrow going up
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and they will, hopefully, they will have some more
Better.
concrete answers, but if you
I'll be
read the,
surprised if they do.
but if you read the bill, it's just, wow, it's, I think it's 50-some pages.
Well, that's
of-
what they do, they make everything so damn complicated.
Exactly. they're changing the way that they appraise, the way that they evaluate all the tiers of land and residentials. We don't know
Well,
what we're gonna
supposedly
get.
the tax rate's gonna go down on real estate. And I know the governor was, what little and I probably should study the legislature more than I do, or what they're doing, but supposedly they're gonna decrease it on homeowners' homes, but then on second homes they're gonna increase it.
Correct, so, and I was looking through it today again, and it's like, that's almost impossible to me, when you look at what they're doing and how they have, the people that have a second home, if they can prove that they live in it at least 7 months a year, I mean, it was like, wow, that's a lot of work to get implemented in a little amount of time. So Joe and I felt fairly comfortable that with what we have, the cash remaining from last year about at this time is not very, it's less,
We're pretty
but
close to last
but
year.
it's pretty close. And so, and with us being able to do the permissive levy with the insurance, it gives you a little leeway, so at least, I know that the employees would love to have more than $1. But, and you guys know, for the last years, the commissioners are try to keep the employees the same as the elected officials, just.
Do we have to have this meeting this early?
Yes.
Can't wait until we know.
Wait until we know what we're doing.
That would make
That's
too
not
much
how
sense.
government works.
Well, and Bob, so then I have to have a preliminary budget ready the middle of August. It has to go out to the public to say, hey, I've got a preliminary budget ready. And then on the first Thursday after the first Monday in September, it has to be adopted. So I guess if I worked, 18 hours a day, I could probably get it done in that amount of time if we waited until. But there's some obligations, one for the county attorney, they have to know what his salary is. I think it's June 30th, isn't it, Joe? So that's one reason that we have it when we do. And we try to make it work. Last year was pretty tight. We did some shuffling with some of the revenues we get from the state, which is entitlement, and then local option taxes went up a little bit, and then PILT we have PILT, but we keep that for major instances, and then to run the courthouse maintenance, the courthouse, sheriff's, any of the maintenance in the buildings, we try to, if it's a major thing, we save the PILT for that.
So $1 an hour or more?
We think it'll work.
We're hoping so.
We keep our fingers crossed, do a little praying.
Well, pray for rain while you're at it.
I have been.
Every day for 3 months, John.
90-day fog tells the old timers, they don't even fit in that category.
Yeah, but we have one coming up on Monday.
Yeah, well, I think it's towards the end of June, isn't it?
Yeah, or next Monday. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that is. I think I have it for the 25th.
So far, they-
So maybe it'll come a little early, like say
Like,
Yeah.
Friday or
like
Saturday,
that's
like
what
they're
it said,
predicting.
yeah.
Well, they are predicting some cool weather this weekend. Well, that means rain, I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully it's not hard rain like we had on Fairfield Bench last Sunday.
See that?
Did you guys get hit?
We didn't get hit at home, but right at the Cascade County line, wiped out crop. Totally wiped out, just mowed it. And,
Like shepherd type?
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, I don't know what, I just went down there yesterday and it was just stubble, when the old summer fall was gone, neighbor's field was just wiped out. I think it was spring where you could tell what it was.
Last evening or afternoon, I drove over towards Power. I didn't see a lot of damage in there.
No, this was kind of the
Further
south.
east?
In the south, right at the county line, right at the northern part of Cascade County.
Okay.
So,
Lucky buggers.
Why, you wanna get hailed at?
Well,
got insurance, do you, Bob?
Yeah, I think some people are afraid for
Yeah, I
So
think so.
back to the subject, Bob, was that a motion at $1 an hour?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
You know, just a couple of comments, and this is no news to anybody here, but, you know, in an unprecedented drought, if you drive by Freeze Out Lake, which you all do, I've lived here since the early '70s, I've never seen it that dry.
Yeah,
No.
it's shocking.
Isn't that amazing?
I've
how
never
old it
seen
is?
it like that.
Yeah.
The lake by the butte seems lower, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
than I ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got low grain prices and hail, and it's gonna be a tough year for the farmers. I think
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
cattlemen are doing a little better, but still their costs are going crazy.
There's not gonna be much hay put up in Teton County this year.
Very
No.
Wow.
You know, they're shutting the irrigation water off of the bench about 10th or 15th of July. And what I heard,
Yeah, that's what they've been
Holy
saying.
cow.
so very little
Early
second
notice
crop
that.
hay.
Yeah.
So how you gonna flex your climate?
I don't know. Might have to go dip in whatever reservoir you got close.
Go swimming.
Actually, the Fairfield water system's better. I mean, it's coming up.
It's
It
coming
always
up
does,
some,
you
but-
know.
Yeah, but if they
Not
shut the
gonna last.
water off the 15th, that's gonna be so early, that's gonna drag the
That'd be
dry.
good for.
Oh, yeah.
Wells.
Bad by February instead of April or March.
Maybe till Christmas.
Yeah.
And the wells and the ranch farmers around the bench, Fairfield bench, half of them that I talked to went dry,
Yeah.
way before they
Oh,
turned the
yeah.
water on. Just about half the people have the wells.
Not good. We better have a good snowpack next winter. We'll all bad trouble. Worse than now.
Okay, any more further discussion on the motion? A second?
Question.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Did anybody oppose?
No.
Do your best,
We'll try to figure it out.
Paula, do your best.
We really
Tried.
tried, and
Yeah, I trust you.
we've been, honestly, we've been looking at it for 2 months.
Thank you
Just
for the
following.
hard work. I know it's not easy.
Well, thank you guys for doing this for us.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow should give us some answers, or at least opinion.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess that's all I've got.
Thank you.
We're adjourned. Thank you guys very much for
Thank you guys for
serving
that.
on this board.
Thanks, Paul, for putting this together. That's helpful.
Oh, it wasn't very much.